Have you ever wondered what would happen if Johnny, the legendary rocker boy, an anti-corporate ghost in the machine, actually got his wish? What if he could build a city from scratch? Not just any city, but a metropolis for 500,000 people, all built in his image. Forget the neon-drenched, corpo-controlled streets of Night City. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating what-if scenario. Welcome to Silverhand City. Picture this. No Arasaka, no Militech, no megacores pulling the strings from towering skyscrapers. The skyline of Silverhand City wouldn't be dominated by corporate logos, but by vibrant murals, community art installations, and maybe a few giant, chrome-plated guitar statues. This is a city built on the principles of anarchy, freedom, and pure, unfiltered rock and roll. But how would it actually work? Could a society built on rebellion actually function? Or would it crumble into chaos? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the foundation, governance, or the lack thereof. Johnny despised hierarchical power structures. So, in Silverhand City, there's no mayor, no city council in the traditional sense. Instead, governance would be handled through a network of decentralized, autonomous collectives. Think of it like a series of neighborhood bands, each managing their own local affairs. Major citywide decisions would be made through direct digital democracy. Every citizen gets a vote on everything, from public transport routes to resource allocation, all cast securely from their personal data. It's the ultimate expression of people power, a city run by a constant, chaotic, and beautiful public referendum. But what about the economy? Johnny would never tolerate a system where the rich get richer while everyone else grinds away in corporate. Silverhand City's economy would be a radical departure from capitalism. It would likely be a hybrid model, mixing a gift economy with a strong emphasis on cooperative ownership. Essential services, housing, healthcare, food would be treated as fundamental rights, managed by community trusts and funded by the city's collective enterprises. Imagine tech co-ops developing open-source cyberware, vertical farms run by neighborhood groups providing food for everyone, and luthier collectives crafting instruments that are shared, not just sold. The currency? Forget the euro. The city might run on a reputation-based system or a localized cryptocurrency called the Rebel Yell or Samurai Coin, earned through community contributions, creative projects, and participation in the city's governance. Your value isn't based on your bank account, but on what you give back to the community. It's a system designed to reward collaboration, not exploitation. It's a punk rock paradise where your street cred is your credit score. Now, let's get to the fun part. The culture and lifestyle. This city would be the creative heart of the world. Every street corner would be a stage. Unofficial concerts, spontaneous art installations, and open mic poetry slams would be the norm, not the exception. The air wouldn't be filled with the drone of AVs, but with the sounds of electric guitars, roaring and the passionate debates of its citizens. Education wouldn't happen in stuffy classrooms, but in workshops, hacker dens, and mentorship programs led by the city's best and brightest, regardless of their formal qualifications. Want to learn to code? Want to learn to play the guitar? Find a rocker boy! Knowledge is free and meant to be shared. The architecture would be a sight to behold. It would be a chaotic yet beautiful mix of brutalist concrete structures covered in graffiti, repurposed shipping containers turned into homes and studios, and high-tech, eco-friendly buildings powered by solar and geothermal energy. It's a style we could call anarcho-brutalism meets solar. Think less sterile glass towers and more living, breathing structures that reflect the raw, creative energy of the people inside them. Every building tells a story. Every mural is a statement. Of course, a city like this would face immense challenges. How do you maintain order without a traditional police force? Silverhand City would likely rely on community-based conflict resolution and restorative justice programs. Instead of armed officers, you'd have trained mediators and social workers. The idea is to address the root causes of conflict, poverty, desperation, lack of opportunity, rather than just punishing the symptoms. It's a radical idea, and it would require a massive cultural shift in how people view justice and safety. The biggest threat wouldn't be crime, but apathy. The system only works if people actively participate. And what about the outside world? The megacorps wouldn't just sit back and let a city of 500,000 people prove that you can live without them. Silverhand City would constantly be under threat. Not just from military force, but from economic sabotage, corporate espionage, and netrunners trying to crash their entire digital infrastructure. The city's defense would have to be as unconventional as its governance. A citizen militia of netrunners would form a digital wall, the firewall of freedom, protecting their networks. Every citizen would be a potential soldier in the ongoing war for their independence. A war fought not just with guns, but with code, art, and ideas. So, could it last? Could Johnny Silverhand's dream city survive? It's a beautiful, chaotic, and incredibly fragile idea. It would require a level of community engagement and personal responsibility that seems almost utopian. It would be a constant struggle, a daily fight to keep the flames of rebellion and freedom alive. But isn't that what Johnny was all about? He never promised an easy life, just a free one. A life where you could be yourself, make some noise, and fight for what you believe in. Silverhand City would be more than just a place to live. It would be a living monument to the idea that a different world is possible. A noisy, messy, and beautifully human world. It wouldn't be perfect. It would be a constant work in progress, a never-ending concert. But for 500,000 people tired of the corporate grind, it would be home. It would be the ultimate act of defiance, a city that chose to burn bright rather than fade away. What do you think? Could a city built on Johnny Silverhand's ideals actually work, or is it a fast track to total chaos? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I read every single one. Thanks for hanging out and exploring this wild idea with me. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Stay free and never stop fighting. See you in the next one!